year on that system. So we get roughly $2.6 million in reimbursement, and our net cost is $900,000. If our net cost was $3 million, then we're going to get reimbursed $2.1 million. So it's not a cost saving standpoint for us as a school district. It's an efficiency standpoint that we're going to try to lay out our runs to get the routes as short as possible as far as how much time kids are going to spend, and as comfortable as possible, so that especially the high school, middle school routes, that we don't assign a full 72, because 72, 3 high schoolers don't fit in a seat.
And not only that, but if some of our students will drive, they're of driving age, and maybe something will happen where their parents take the vehicle off them, or they lose their license, or anything like that, or they just don't want to drive themselves no more. We have to provide that seat for them on the bus, so we need a little bit of leeway with some empty chairs.
Yeah, there's always got to be capacity, and we see it a lot whenever there's bad weather. When you have a 2-hour delay, mom and dad won't let their kid take the car. Rightfully so for a lot of us. I know how I was when I was 16 or 17. You're going to ride the bus today, so you have to have the seat. Capacity has to be there for that person. So, but it's not a cost savings vehicle for us to be more efficient, so we can save the school district money. It doesn't work that way.
But
Okay.
I agree with you on the efficiency part of it, trying to get the kids in a more timely manner.
Yeah, we want kids not to be on a bus for 45 minutes and drive a big goal.
Somewhere an hour or more.
Yeah.
My kids,
Yeah.
They're like
Okay.
a bus driver though, so.
You just have to get up over there for breakfast.
Not me.
Tell that you.
I did want to say, I did notice the positives that you have added the band onto the high school website portion. I did look at it. It's a little dated, 2014 information.
Okay.
Okay, so if we could.
Yeah, we'll look at that. I did not look at that.
It still has some of the old band director information
Okay.
and stuff. That's good. And I saw that you also updated for the regions for the school board members.
Mhm.
That was much appreciated also. I think that's great. Are we going to have a calendar for the upcoming busy schedule on the website, the April, May, where you have all these events?
We will be adding the calendar items now that once we get, have approvals for them,
So you'll
know
actually,
where they are.
on the website, you'll be able
On
to
the
go
website,
on.
if you click on the main page now, if you click, there's an athletic calendar, which
Yes,
is
yes.
very fluctuating because of weather,
Mhm.
but there's an event calendar there also as well. So yeah,
Okay,
we'll-
so that'll
we'll
be
update-
updated for
We will update that.
for April and May. And the other thing was the recent tragic events across the world with terrorism and security problems. How are we doing addressing the security in our schools? I know there's some variety in the levels.
We did an active shooter drill this year, first time ever, and Terry Blom headed that, and we've also done quite a bit of work behind the scenes that we choose not to make public because we don't want it to be
Sure.
used against us, but
Right.
we're paying very much attention to the events around the world, and have prepared staff and coordinated with the emergency people, including the state police, on a lot of issues that we never used to have to deal with. But we're. Can you stop everything? No, but are we better prepared now than we ever have been? Yes, and we will continue to do that.
Okay. Do you have a time frame for some, I think there were a mention of maybe some updates, as things go in some of the...
We're not going to update the public on that because we don't want to disclose what we're doing.
Okay.
We want to, just like we did with with the lead and all that and copper. That's great, but we don't want to tell a terrorist what we're doing and how they can get around it. So rest assured, we're paying attention. Can you stop everything? Absolutely not.
No.
Are we better prepared? Absolutely. Are kids and families sharing pertinent information that is helping us avoid things? Yes. And are we partnering with law enforcement and emergency management and coordination with our buildings and staff? We are. But we're not going to put out all the detail that we're doing because
No.
we do want to make sure that we have the ability to not educate somebody to do something bad against us.
As a board member, how much are we allowed to know? Because, yeah, we knew that that was going on, that active shooter drill, but as far as how many departments were here, do you have that information?
We can share some of that with you. But again, we don't want to put all that out to the public.
Right, that will just stay amongst us.
That's what I said,
and
yeah.
leave it out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, how come you have not brought that forth to us yet?
It was just staff. We'll talk about that later
Okay.
today too. But it's, there's a bunch of other things that we haven't done that are in process, but we'll bring that to you. Okay? Other questions, comments?
I have a comment. I would like for next year, every student to have a calendar given to them that we got rid of last year.
Yay, a lot of people were looking for their nice.
They've been looking for the calendar for months. Like, look for the state budget.
Yeah.
You know, where is it? There's Waldo. But,
Is there a way we can, just throwing it out there, is there a way we can maybe make it into a fundraiser? Because I know I don't want 5, 6 calendars, but I'd be happy to buy one and make it a fundraiser. I don't know.
I'd be happy to get mine for free, as I always do for my service here at Western Wayne, so. And the calendars were really nice, and,
Oh, they were great.
yeah, they spoke out.
They were, I mean. it
There's other
costs
ways to save
about
money.
$6,000 or $7,000 a year to put that calendar out. And that was one of the things that our previous superintendent had cut when we were making cuts to the budget. And that's why it wasn't here now, but I mean, it's a cost, we put it back in, but
Yeah,
it's a cost.
we'll talk about that.
Well, that's why AJ brought it up. He had concern about it in the beginning to save money, which was your point, and then he's hearing people out there, and I have too, you know, like, oh, no, what happens?
I heard both sides.
Yeah, well, you will, but, you know, I just tell me what I
it was a
heard.
practice that was advantageous for years, decades, that, you know, students got to see, you know, not only pictures and things like that. It's tangible. And parents enjoyed it, the students enjoyed it, and for $6,000 and a $42 million a year budget, it's like when Jim Morris said playoffs. So like practice, $6,000 and a $43 million, and the kids love it, the parents love it, and it was a staple of the Western Wayne School District.
Well, now with that
It's
new,
no brainer.
one person in the family gets all the paperwork, would that be still with that? Well, then that's great.
I would be.
We,
able
I
to-
could do it.
Yeah, that's a
I
good way
do
to
that.
That's the great way to go.
Yeah, they only need one.
You can ration on one calendar a family.
Well,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah.
Kid, one will do, and so the wrong one got it, that's all I'm saying.
Well, that's your situation as a parent to make sure you
I
got
don't
it.
use it.
Any other comments? Thanks. We'll put money in the budget to do the calendars. Any other items? Okay.
Yeah, the production of the 8th grade yearbook, is that underway?
Yes.
It is. There's a section in there, and I know this sounds stupid, but,
Roger, I'm gonna stop you, it's not there.
what's that?
It's not there.
It's not there? All right, so, the guidance counselor talked to you about what I was talking?
Yep.
All right. Does it make sense, Olivia and that?
We could talk about it
All right,
later, but we took care of it.
thanks. All right, sorry to interrupt.
Okay. If we could do a short executive session, there's some pizza in the